Hello everybody, hope you're doing marvellously well. I'm sitting here with Rob from UAD. How the devil are you?
Very good. Yourself?
I'm good. Today is actually the launch day for the Ox Stomp. So what can you tell us about the Ox Stomp?
Okay, well, it's our newest pedal.
Yep.
And what it is we've had a product on the market for a little over 5 years called the Ox Amp Top Box.
Which I still don't have, UAD.
The Ox Amp Top Box, you could take the output of your amplifier into it, and then one of the things that it could do was give you cabinets, mic'd cabinets that you could line output for recording or send to your front of house console or whatever. What we've done is we've taken all of those cabinets, microphones, all of what we call cab mic rooms or CMRs, and put them in a pedal so that you could use them with anything, any amp modeler or amplifier with a DI output. And instead of using the static IRs that it comes with, you would be able to get these physically modeled cab mic room or CMRs, we call them.
How much is it?
$399.
$399, okay. And you can obviously just put it on your pedal board and then send it to front of house.
Exactly. It takes a 400 milliamp power supply, but it just works on your, your pedal board power supply.
The death of the amp. This is terrifying. So very generously, Rob has allowed us to give away one of these pedals. So you can go down below and enter to win one of the Ox Stomps. Okay, so that's pretty amazing. I think what's interesting here is we've got studio speakers, so we'll let you listen through studio speakers. The other thing is we've got an 11 rack, which for those of you old enough to remember, what did we say, 2008 this came out?
That's when it was released, yeah.
Which in digital technology, 15-year-old technology, might as well be 500-year-old technology. But this is good because we're taking something that isn't maybe the latest and greatest and see if we can really hear some vast improvement. So, okay, I'm going to play a couple of chords. We're starting off with just lights here with the poor guitar. But so this is just a stock sound of an AC30, an 11 rack AC30 with its own cab emulation.
With its own cab, it's got a SM57 microphone.
Okay. It's fairly nice, a little brittle on the top end. Okay, let's hear it with the Ox Stomp.
Turn on the Ox Stomp, bypass the cabinet here. Yeah. The cabinet's now bypassed. So in the rig preset 1, I've dialed up a similar cabinet, a 212. Yeah. And it's actually got an SM57 close-up. It's got a 121 close-up. Okay. And then it's got stereo ribbon mics in the room.
So this is now going to be a stereo signal. A lot more low end. Definitely a lot more inspiring. And frankly, more AC30 sounding, a bit more honky and mid-range.
Like the boxiness of the AC30. This is very specifically a cabinet designed to be, that style, right? So
okay, what's the setting called?
That. It's Ace Top is the preset name. Okay. It's a 212 Ace Top.
Okay, great.
Most of your amp modelers, your digital amp modelers use impulse responses to capture the sound of the speaker and whatever microphones you're putting in front of them. So an impulse response is capturing a snapshot of audio at a specific level. So it's static by definition, right? That's just what an IR is. And there's a bunch of them out there. What we do with this is we physically model the output so it changes with volume. So we model the speaker, the way the speaker sounds and behaves at its lowest level to its loudest level.
Oh, interesting.
And as you dig in, as you turn the volume control, as you push it, it behaves like the speaker
would. So there's multiple impulse responses in there?
No. It's a whole different physical model technology. It doesn't use impulse response.
Okay.
So it's different.
Very dynamic. I like it a lot. Okay, let me hear some other sounds.
Okay, so the idea is you have 6 rig slots on the unit itself.
Yep.
And then you can put in whatever you want, but there's an app that works on iOS or Android. So we go into the app, we can actually take a look at presets. So these are a bunch of user presets that I've created, but there's also factory presets.
Okay.
And you go into factory presets, and they're actually sorted by the cabinet. It's like this 1x10, black 1x10 black CHA here's or whatever. Here's a 1x12 black GB30, like a greenback 30 watt, type of speaker. Or here's like a DUX, like a deluxe style thing. And then here's one with JBG or like a JBL speakers or something. So, maybe we wanted to, load something in here like little squashed feet. Wonder what that might be like.
Wow, it's super compressed now.
That was kind of the Little George sound, right? So instead of a preset, let's go in and kind of maybe build our own.
Okay.
So within this, you'll see, you heard compressor. So if I go down here, I could go in, turn off the compressor.
Yep.
Let's just turn off anything down here. We'll turn off the reverb. We'll kind of start from scratch. So we'll turn off the EQ.
So this isn't just an impulse response playback machine. Of course, you're not saying it's that technology.
Right.
This has got a ton of schnizzle going on. You've got compression, you've got EQ,
Yep.
you've got verb, all built into
Modulated delays as well.
Modulated delays. So, okay, now the $399 looks more like a bargain.
All right.
Okay,
You can get a lot with it.
Okay,
so
good.
The first thing you're going to do is pick a cabinet, right?
Right.
So you've got your single speaker cabinets where you can choose we're in that single, 1x12 JBL. Or you could go here to our 2x12s, like we started with this 212 Ace top. This is the first one you listen to. Or we could go to this is like with Alnico 50s.
Okay.
So a different...
Brighter. Doesn't quite have that middly AC30. Like it, yeah.
Here's something with a little more of a boutique style ported cabinet.
Definitely a bit more honky.
Yep. And there's a bunch of different cabinets here, but you can also go to your 412s. So like maybe you want to go to 412, 25 watt.
I like that first one you had.
Here's V30s.
The sound of everybody uses vintage 30s.
That's the UK cab, or here's the California cab.
Definitely brighter as well.
Right.
Okay.
But there's, like I said, lots of different cabinets.
Oh, it's got a nice roll. What's that?
That is Greenback 25s, 412, the 25 watt Greenback.
That's great.
It tells you like a little history, here about each thing that tells you we're there. But then right now we're listening to that with, different microphones. So if we wanted to build it up from scratch, what if I turn off mic 2, turn off the room mic? So all I'm hearing is, 1. So right now we're on condenser 67. Dynamic.
Let me hear between the two again. Let's play some chords. That's the 57, yeah?
67. How about a 160 ribbon?
That'd be nice for a certain part, yeah.
It's 120.
Ooh.
How about a 421?
Any way to blend the 67 and the 121?
Matter of fact, there is.
Ooh.
So let's start with, you like the 414?
No, but I love the 67. I love the 121. Great high end.
At this point, we're on 67. We're off axis. We can also be on axis.
Okay, on axis. That's great.
And then this is with the high-pass filter. And then you also have an EQ. So it's low, mid. It's a 4-band EQ.
Lots of toys.
High and low
Okay.
that filter. So you could dial that in a bit much. But if we go down to mic 2, you said, hey, I wanted to add the 121 to that. You can do that.
Yeah,
now with these two knobs, you can blend, dial in those sounds. And that's actually off axis. We can make it on axis.
We just took this really very average 11 rack and made it actually sound really, really good. There's nothing wrong with the 11 rack. I know a lot of people still have them, but
that's the whole point of this, right?
This is a really nice blend.
It's like takes whatever your amp model or you're using, and it just makes it better. It makes it more dynamic, more alive, and it gives you all this control to dial in your sound.
Well, I'm just about to be demonetized by playing it later.
I've heard that song.
Yeah.
Like if you say, hey, let's go add a little bit of...
Sorry, I'm enjoying playing with this. It's a really nice blend.
So you can say, hey, add some top end to that, or maybe some bottom. Set a high-pass filter.
This is a nice combination of the 67 with the 121.
So what about adding some room mics now, right?
Okay,
so we've got mic 1 on or off axis with a high-pass filter and EQ.
What are our
You got mic 2. So now we get into our room mics. You've got condenser stereo. You got ribbon stereo. Oh, hang on. Let's just listen to just that, right? So that's just the room mic, right? There's ribbons. There's condensers.
Okay.
Here's condenser mono. You don't want all the spread. Here's a 67 mono.
Oh, wow.
Ribbon mono.
Wow.
Or a 121.
Can I go back to the ribbon stereo, please?
Certainly.
Now the condenser stereo. Condenser stereo.
All right, so if you like that, you could also say, hey, I want to add some low end to that. You can dampen it if you wanted to like have a carpet in the room. Tighter.
I like the dampening, but I don't want so much low end because I think that will muddy up our original 67 121 blend. That's nice.
So a little bit of room mic just kind of gives it like a three-dimensional effect.
AC, you know? 30, 11 rack. Yeah, that's great. That's really cool.
So now the other thing you have here is you have your master volume. Soon.
I'm going to take this one away with us, Eric. Okay, put it in your bag.
We've got EQ on the master, so you can take the whole, the 3 mics, well, in this case 4 mics, the stereo room plus the 2 close mics. You can have that. You've got an 1176 style compressor. We're Universal Audio. We know just a touch about that.
You know about 1176s.
Turn it on. So you got input, output.
It's nice.
So you got your 4 to 1, 8 to 1, 12 to 1, 21, and of course the all buttons.
Great. It's really nice.
It's just an 1176, yeah. So we also have a delay.
With the lights buzz.
So we can turn on a delay here as well.
Okay.
So there's your delay.
A lot of fun.
It's got different modes for just a stereo delay, or get crossover ping pong modes to move stuff around, or you can have chorus and flanging, and you've got your modulation.
Give us a bit of flanging. A flanger tends to be the pedal emulation that really does prove whether it's good or not. There are so many terrible flangers, like far more than there are good ones. Let's see how this sounds. Make it stronger. There we go.
Feedback, your wet dry mix, rate. So then last we have reverb.
Reverb, okay.
So if we want, we'll just turn off our flanger. So this is a plate style reverb. You got your decay time, your mix control.
I'm having too much fun. There we go. We just spent 10 minutes, build a sound. So you save it and just save it and call it whatever, Warren Sweetwater.
We'll do here, we'll do a save a copy. And actually we'll go rename it something, whatever. We'll do Warren's. Done. Saved.
Okay, cool. Now, the reason why I asked is, take us to the page where all the presets are saved.
We can do two things. One, we've saved it there.
Because you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking if you're doing a show and, you want to be able to have this somewhere right next to your setup, you can just tap. How easy is it? Where do they all come up? And
fantastic question. So it shows here, and actually what we can do is we can save it onto one of these 6 presets on the pedal itself.
That's
so
good.
right now, what I've done is on preset 1's rig slot 1 here, that's your preset.
Okay, great.
So it's there. You can select any of those presets and put them wherever you want. Now, the other thing is, this is also in how you want to set up the pedal to behave. So there's a section here right now is you can have like an A preset and a B preset and be able to turn them on and off with these two buttons. That's the mode I'm in. But if I click on here, I could say, have it always on. I'm going to use it with whatever my thing is. This is my cab. I want it always on, and make this my delay on off, and this my reverb on off. So now I have my effects and treat it that way. Or I could say, I want it to be always on, but I want to have A and B, two presets on here, and I could toggle between them, or C and D here. So now I'd be able to get to 4 different presets using the two pedals. So that's another model if you want to be able to get multiple cabinets without having to reach down and turn the knob. Or you could say, hey, I only want 2 cabinets, so I'll have it A and B, switch between those, and delay on off, or A and B and reverb on off, or A and B and all effects on off. And then so you can choose your behavior.
What about like 10-song set? Can I just have those presets lined up on the iPad, and I can just go 1, 2? I can have the name of the song.
You can go in there and select them from your iOS or Android device.
Just do 1 to 10 with the names of each song.
Yep.
Great. This is pretty nifty. So it is $399. It's an impulse response loader, although you're not calling them impulse responses.
It's what we call CMRs, they're cab, mic, room, physical models.
Okay, cab, mic, room, physical models.
That's the whole idea, is we're actually modeling the cabinet. So it's the speaker in the box, it's the resonance of the box, it's that whole thing. You're choosing up to 2 different close microphones, on or off axis, with EQ, there. Your room mics. And then that's actually modeled in a world-class room. So you get this really nice room sound that becomes part
of it. And then you've got multi-effects, you've got chorus, flanging, reverbs, delays.
Right, the 1176 style compressor.
1176 style compressor.
And then a master EQ as well.
And a master EQ. And then, of course, all the different mic selections.
Right, 6 close mics, 6 room mics.
Nice. And the mics, the room mics you can have in stereo or in mono, depending on what your front of house or your recording might be. It's pretty nifty.
So there's all kinds of applications. Use your different room modelers. Potentially, you could even have 2 different amps. Feed one into the left side, one into the right side. Dial it up in here. Take a mono or stereo output. So there's options for doing things like that as well. Modern amps, you'll see tube amps. They'll have a DI output, or in some cases a built-in load. It's not a load box, so don't blow up your tube amp.
No.
But at the same time, if you have the load taken care of, you could take that DI out, defeat whatever IR or cabinet modeling it's doing, and let this do that for you.
Nice.
And I think what you'll find is whatever you're using, it'll just make it sound more dynamic, more alive. Obviously, the effects adds another, little extra bonus with that.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I think I'm 99.9999% of my life recording. If I ever, which is highly unlikely, but if I ever do play a live show again, I'll probably want something not much bigger than this whole setup here.
Anybody doing fly dates or not, trying to carry
couldn't even imagine. I've done so many thousands of those in my life. I'm happy to be in a studio these days. But it does offer a lot of value for money. When you first told me about it, I was thinking $400, yeah, that's pretty good. But the fact that it does all this extra stuff, and the fact that we took an 11 rack, which is not a bad piece of equipment, don't get me wrong, but it's certainly not modern. It's certainly not smooth sounding. It needs a lot of rough digital edges to be wiped off. The fact that we started with that and we're able to get some really convincing tones is impressive.
I think you'll find a similar sort of thing with any of the modern amp modelers, whether it's pedals, floorboards, whatever. You run through there, and versus the IR, which is going to just be modeled at one level, right? It's just it's a snapshot. This gives you that dynamic approach, and you're going to feel it. It's going to be alive. It's going to jump out at you.
Amazing. So very generously, Rob has allowed us to give away one of these pedals. So you can go down below and enter to win one of the Aux Stomps. Rob, thank you ever so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. There will be a link down below where you can see and hear more of the pedal. That was a lot of fun. I'm impressed. Good job.
Awesome.
Thanks, everyone. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, adios, goodbye.